What's going on, beautiful people? It is I, your flying locomotive and faster than a speeding bullet SuperCliff, coming at you live with a brand new video. And for today's majestic video, we are continuing with Mark Waid and Dan Moore's glorious gem, and one of my personal favorite runs that is happening right now. That being, of course, Batman Superman World's Finest, issue number 7. But before we dive into the world of DC Comics, where the two most prominent and classiest of superheroes hang out in, if you are new to the channel, then smash that like and subscribe button. That way you guys never miss out on anything that's happening on this lovely and majestic channel. And because we managed to cross over 1,000 subs, let's raise the bar and go full on Super Saiyan as we try to reach 200 more subs before the end of 2022. Thus, without further ado, let's get crazy with Batman Superman World's Finest, issue number 7. Our story begins in Gotham City, but this isn't the Gotham that we all know and love. You know, at times the one that we're scared of. Rather, this Gotham is one from a parallel universe. And similar to Krypton, this planet is about to go boom. It's about to fart into oblivion. And like any diet version of the Superman origin story, we see two desperate scientists taking their son and placing him inside a spaceship. Thus, the spaceship takes off with its intended coordinates. And from there, the world that the boy is left behind explodes. However, once that happens, the spaceship breaks into the parallel barrier, and seemingly it is en route towards the planet Earth. Earth Zero, the important one. From there, we switch over to the main Earth, where reporters like Vicky Vale, Shauna Taylor, and conspiracy theorist Jack Ryder are reporting in about a mysterious rift that has just opened up in the sky. And while the world watches and waits for the inevitable to happen, that's when we see the world's finest suit up. Both Superman and Batman, and also Robin, suit up to engage the rift and to prevent any possible damage that may occur. Also, side note, this panel is making me think of a Batman movie that has a very Top Gun Maverick style to it. Batman Maverick. You're welcome, Hollywood. I'm here if you need me. Now, it's here where we see the spaceship literally break itself into the Earth's atmosphere, and it zooms right through Batman's plane, almost like it was a ghost or something. But luckily, Superman isn't too far behind, as he's able to catch the spaceship with mad skill. Now, upon bringing the ship down to the ground, with the heroes regrouping on site, the spaceship opens up to where the world's finest are met with a boy by the name David Sakilia. I butchered that name, and I'm not sorry because names are hard to say. From there, introductions are made, and after David explains to the heroes about the demise of his parents, telling them that they've invented a machine called a hypertime drive, a device that can travel across alternate Earths, that's when Batman pulls Clark aside and mentions that David's story tracks with the Flash's. You know, that time when Barry Allen so famously traveled to parallel Earths, the whole Flash of Two Earths story. So yeah, basically we can assume that this, given the evidence, that this story takes place sometime after the Flash issue number 123, from way back in the 60s. And very similar to Flash and how he's able to travel using vibration phasing, that's probably the reason why David's ship was able to ghost its way right through Batman. Now, eventually David starts to break down because the kid, he just lost his parents like 10 minutes ago. And unlike Clark, who was a baby back when his planet exploded, David isn't. He's very sentient. And because he's just a kid, the memory of his home blowing up will likely scar him for life. Now, Dick Grayson Robin tries to comfort David, but upon touch, David starts to glow, which immediately burns Dick's hand. But it doesn't stop there, folks, because David is glowing bigger and bigger, which is causing all the grass and the trees to burn in the process. But that's when Superman tries to calm him down, because Supes has a somewhat understanding of what David's going through. He understands the feeling of being different and alone, and so he tries to comfort him, telling David to just breathe. And once David's powers begin to chill, Superman takes him to the Fortress of Solitude, where they can understand more about David. From there, we switch over to the fortress inside the bottled up city of Kandor, where Superman and the scientists of Kandor have David strapped to a machine so that they can comprehend his powers and make do of what's happening. And according to the scientists, it seems that David's son was much cooler back in his universe, a lot hotter, and much like Superman, his powers operate the same way, but instead, David's body releases the sun's energy into a blinding light. Superman wonders if his powers can be controlled, and the answer is yes, but it must be done so through guidance and training, much like Obi-Wan Kenobi. I don't know why I did that. Weird. And now, another way to help and ensure control are the Kandorian fabrics that are gifted. The material that it's made out of is indestructible, but more importantly, it will contain David's power. And with hoping that David will follow in the footsteps of Kal-El, the Kandorians have also outfitted the costume to display the sigil of Hel Oz, who according to the history books of Krypton, was a Kryptonian freedom fighter. So yeah, the more you know. From there, once Robin is finished flirting with one of the female scientists, like a champ, the three of them are teleported back to the Fortress of Solitude via appropriate size. Now at this point, David is starting to make some comparisons between his world and this one. And with knowing that there's a Gotham City, then there must be a version of his parents. And so he demands to know where they are so that he can find them. And of course, the heroes are extremely uncomfortable in doing so, but seeing that there's no other way to avoid this, they oblige. Later on in Gotham City, Batman's able to find David's parents, and much like his from his universe, these versions are scientists out as well. But without thinking, David rushes over to them, for he's ecstatic to see his parents are alive. But unfortunately, David doesn't understand how the multiverse works. Yes, these copies are his parents, but they're not his. It turns out that these versions actually had a son named David as well, but sadly he died many years prior. And so the couple knows right off the bat that, pun, knows right off the bat that this David is not theirs. And that's when Batman, like a boss, tells David the hard truth. The fact is, these are not your parents, and your presence is only reopening their old wound for the loss of their child. Therefore, Batman calls him a stupid idiot. Just kidding, he doesn't say that, but that would be amazing if he did, because Batman is a hard ass. But yeah, it's here where in this moment where David finally comprehends on what's happening, and he immediately begins to cry, because for him, it's basically like losing parents twice in a day, which sucks, times 3,000. But wait just 1 minute, because our story isn't finished just yet, because right afterwards, we pick up somewhere unknown, where a man is crawling for food. And while he's doing that, it seems he's being taunted, almost like who's ever speaking wants this prisoner to cross through the door. But once that happens, the man immediately dies. And it's from there where we see the villainous Keymaster smiling at the man's demise, calling it beautiful, creepy. And that, folks, was the end of Batman Superman World's Finest, issue number 7. And thank you guys for checking out my video, as it truly, truly means the world to me. This comic continues to be a badass time. Again, there's this Silver Age aesthetic with the book's telling that I'm really enjoying. It's just good old-fashioned DC storytelling with its two most prominent heroes, and Robin. But yeah, overall, I really like this issue. You know, clearly Mark Waid and Dan Moore are on the same page when it comes to the series. My only negative is that, I do not like David. Obviously, I get why he's acting the way that he's acting, but I'm just getting vibes that this kid is going to turn bad later on. Not saying he'll be bad like, General Zod or Battella, but he'll get so angry that he'll just explode like an idiot. Stupid David. I don't know why, but maybe I'm just kind of tired of the story premise. I've seen it so many times in comics before. The boy is good, but wait, he isn't, because he's way too powerful. Shut up! But again, it's not terrible. It's clearly me. I'm the problem. So basically take my criticism with a grain of salt. However, when the Keymaster showed up at the end, I was like, hell yeah, let's get weird. Yeah, when it comes to that ending, the Keymaster. Wow, what a callback. Talk about an old school Gardner Fox creation. And of course, Mark Waid would be the one to pull from that bucket of gems. It's great stuff, and it's what this comic is all about. Besides my David gripes, which are very, very small in the grand scheme of things, this comic continues to deliver the goods. And I love that Mark Waid is like 60 plus years old and continues to use old school characters that no longer get the spotlight. Characters like Vicky Vale, Keymaster, and Jack Ryder. But yeah, as always, I'm your majestic sayer over at SuperCliff, and if you guys are new to the channel, then do me a solid by smashing that like and subscribe button, and also the notification bell so that you'll never miss out on an upload, and so that you'll always be kept up to date with your favorite top tier comics happening in the comic book world. Now tell me, what are your thoughts and opinions on this issue? Are you guys excited for issue number 8? Let me know down in the comment section below. And until the next video, peace. Giggity go.